So I'm out here in the farm fields. Um, I don't necessarily know if these are soybean fields. I think these are uh, sorghum, but I do know that there are soybean fields out here. I don't necessarily know the crop rotation. Uh, this is where your food comes from, America. But one thing that I do not like is that whenever soybeans are grown, they spray them with Roundup. So every bit of the soybean grown out here will be sprayed up with Roundup. And I've seen the bottles firsthand. You know, I take my dog walking out here, and whenever they spray, we don't go out, right? Uh, it's it's that dangerous, and we are spraying it on our food. One of the most ubiquitous foods that go in mass production is the soybean. So anything that you see uh, with soybean oil in it, they spray it. At least here in the United States, they spray it with Roundup right before harvest. Their claim is that the soybeans are done growing and that they just spray the plant with Roundup. It's literally Roundup that causes cancer. It is sprayed on the plants right before harvest, and then it is sent to your table. They claim that the soybean is done growing, so not much of it gets into the soybean itself, right? Well, I'm not no dang idiot. We got a truck coming by. I'm just walking my dog. Well, I ain't no dang idiot, and I know that some of that Roundup gets into the bean, into the soybean, and then subsequently, you are eating it. I'm not saying that soybean is dangerous, but the process in which we make soybean is dangerous. Uh, from a financial stance, would it be cheaper than spraying all of this chemical meant to kill the plants? Would it be cheaper not to spray it and figure out a way to harvest it live? I don't know, dude. like if you want to go harvest, go make a machine that will create it. No, that will harvest it live. Like, why are we using these Roundup chemicals on our food? Also, I have a personal stake in this because blackberries used to grow on our land along the fence lines, and the it's almost like the neighbor comes over comes over to your blackberries and they just squash on them. They just step all over them. Like, that's gonna piss you off. Those are my blackberries. Why do you get to say I don't get no blackberries because you want to grow your dang old soybeans covered in chemicals? There's a saying down here in the South. You gotta be smarter than what you're working with, right? Uh, I wish I could have some wild blackberries, but that's just not afforded to me. Okay, I apologize about the wind, and like, comment, subscribe, and share if you like this content. Uh, Giving you information about how they are gypping you. Okay. Okay, so uh, I am back from walking with Izzy Girl, uh, and I just want to say this, that the use of chemicals in farming is not necessarily unethical. Like the use of fertilizer, I don't see that as being something bad. Um, it is specific compounds in like pesticides and herbicides that should be used with more caution. You are permanently affecting the ecosystem, and the consequences are not yet known by using these chemicals. Now, I don't think that Roundup should be banned. Um, like there are practical small use cases where Roundup is okay, such as like spraying your sidewalk with Roundup. But I think you should draw the line at using Roundup for food production. If Roundup wants to create a machine that uh, harvests soybean in a safer, more ecological kind of way, where it's just mechanical. Because I understand that the use of Roundup is for production. It increases production. And I get the bottom line, but there has to be some balance between ecological impact and the bottom line. Uh, if there's no environment, you can't grow soybean, and there would be no use for Roundup. Yeah, it'll be good for a time, but then the consequences will come. and they would be irreversible. Um, yeah, I think I'm just upset because I cannot go into my backyard and pick blackberries. Yes, it is my uh, legal right to protect my legal property, and that was a resource for us. We had tons of blackberries, like literal pounds. Like you wouldn't believe it how many blackberries you could go out. You could pick blackberries every day, all day throughout the summer, and there would still be blackberries left to be picked. And that's how I spent my childhood. And I think it's the use of these chemicals in farming that took that away. Uh, if you think about this, like how much of the ecosystem is affected by chemical spray drift and runoff water, and it affects the wildlife. Once we start hindering the wildlife as a society, we should look at that as an indicator that, hey, we're doing something wrong and we should attempt to change course before we crash. Well, this is the signal. This is the signal. Um, Figure out another way. Figure it out. Either through mechanics or structural design. Don't sell the kids out. That's big. You would be remembered as a destructive force, self-deleting force, essentially. Like that doesn't look good. Uh, I'm not saying that what is being done is evil, but knowing the ecological impact it has on the environment and continuing to go the same course without considering other options is pretty bad. That is uh, willing ignorance. You are willingly being ignorant. You are willingly being damaging. You are willingly being damaging with little gain. Right. Yeah, you are keeping up production, but if there is another way to do it and somebody else does it, um, you're going to be the evil one because you were complacent. All right. God bless. Bring back the blackberries. Bring them back.